Stacey Yvonne with Black Film and TV. Gentlemen, hello.
Hi.
I'm so excited to talk with you a little bit about this movie today. I'll start with you, Tariq. So I loved you in Atlanta and The Game. And this, if I'm not mistaken, is your first starring feature. Is that correct?
Yeah, first one, I would say first one that came out. I filmed one before, but it hasn't come out yet. But yeah, I think my first big one, co-starring with Marlon.
I was going to say, this is a big one to go into, and you're starring with the pros right here.
Yeah.
Tell me, what was one thing that you learned about yourself from the experience?
Yeah, I think one thing, that's a loaded question. But yeah, I think, you know, there's things that I've been through in life, and I don't have to live in that sadness, you know. And I think learning about myself was something that I learned from Marlon is, you know, even though you go through the darkness, you don't have to live there. But, you know, I think he expressed himself in a joyful way. And I think that joy brings other people joy, and that's a form of healing. And I think I want to exist more into that light and that world of it all.
That's beautiful. You know, when I was thinking about my review for the film, I was like, you know, Isaiah White will do anything for his success except go to therapy. And there is...
That's all he had to do.
It would help, we would think. But, you know, there is this through line that, you know, you're never going to survive unless you get a little bit crazy. There's this slight insanity. I say slight, but, you know. But Isaiah does such a fine and kind of terrifying job of writing that line so well between being grounded and being insane. Tell us kind of what was your process for building that into him.
I walked that line myself as Marlon, so it was easy to infuse that into Isaiah. I'm insane. My work ethic is insane. Like it teeters on. My family's often concerned, but I got 2 therapists a week that I talk to. I got God and I pray, and everything bad that ever happens to me, and when it feels like a lot, I make it an act and stand up, and I make people laugh, so it takes away from the pressure. Every time I hear a laugh, it takes away from the pressure. And I think with Isaiah, you know, I know the path to what it is to try and be great at your craft, and it's tireless and it's never ending. And with Isaiah, difference between me and I do it out of love. I made him do it out of insecurity. Right. He's actually insecure. That's why he's so confident. That's why he's so arrogant. That's why his warmth is not that warm. It's lukewarm. Because he's insecure. And he sees something great coming along, and he doesn't want that to happen. My great, I know I'm forever evolving, and there's only one me. I'm not in competition with nobody. Everybody's different. I'm trying to be Marlon.
I love that. You know, throughout the film, there is this thing that happens where we learn that Cameron is more interested. He was like, I can't wait to be a dad and have like 3 little kids. And Isaiah's like, but football, you know, and he's like, he says, so, you know, football, love or whatever, and then God at the bottom. And football was everything. And as soon as he didn't see that same drive in Cameron, that's when things really started to get twisted and really started to take a turn. In your regular lives, just dealing with this career, I know you've come across people who are like that, who are saying, you know, career, fame above everything. How do you keep your wits about you in that? We'll start with you, Tariq.
I think for me, it comes from experience. You know, me, I started pursuing acting head on in 2020, and that was a tough time for us all with the pandemic. And I know I need to do this. I need to focus. I need to really lock in. I didn't care about anything else besides figuring this out. And then a year later, my brother tragically passed away in 2021. And then I looked up and I was like, what was all this for in the first place? Because even when I was in college, I was grinding to get the grades, grinding to figure life out, and I didn't visit home as much as I should have. And that sucked the life out of me when it happened. And I just now have a more delicate approach to chasing success, because I think it paused me for a second. Like, what am I truly doing this for? And, you know, no matter what movie comes out, no matter what TV show comes out that I'm in, won't bring him back. So how can we really chase greatness but also live a full life? And I think that's why I love Cameron's take on it, where he's such a dominant player, but also he's yearning for that fatherhood, because he knows how his dad was for him, but how can he take that fatherhood and be a better father, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that, yeah.
I think you always got to put God first.
Yeah.
God is the light, and it's the light that shines inside of you, and you creates that prism. I think, secondly, it always has to come family, because family grounds you.
Right.
God is heaven, family's earth.
Yeah.
Always grounds you, so you always know where your feet are at, and you know who's lifting you. And then comes your art. And if you do it that way, then no matter where you go, you will always be grounded, and there's no telling where you can go, but you'll always be guided, and God always got you.
That's so beautiful.
Damn, I said, I did that while you had that long ass. I'm coming straight to this. Bam! Bars.
It's fantastic.
Come on.
You know,
Damn.
exactly.
Damn. You witnessed that. Damn.
Also, during the thing where he was like, you know, you want to download like no Pornhub, no porn too. They said no grinder. We were like, okay, ally. Right? Exactly. Thank you guys. My name is Stacey Yvonne. I'm with Black Film and TV. Julia, I adore you. I saw you like in Presence and there's something just recently, but you have such a presence about you where you are nothing more than Julia Fox. Just like, I am Julia, hear me roar. Yeah. And Elsie has so much of that, but in a way that is a little crooked, a little left-leaning. We don't quite know what to make of her, but we know that she knows herself through and through. Whether or not she's going to let anyone else know her is a completely different thing. I want you to talk to me about the relationship between Elsie and Isaiah. They seem to be this kind of power couple, but as we go through, it made me wonder, well, was Elsie always there, or was Elsie part of a package deal, you know? And I wanted to know basically, how you felt about that and your relationship with Isaiah.
So the backstory is actually that they were high school sweethearts, and that she came from a really rough background and kind of, you know, saw he was going places and just attached herself, and is really, you know, going to use his success to, in turn, you know, as a means to an end for her. And, you know, I don't think she's all bad, but I think she has to make selfish choices in the name of self-preservation and survival. And you know, I can sympathize with her, you know, I understand. But in terms of their relationship, I think that they're more, you know, if maybe 20 years ago they were in love, now it's very much just a partnership. And, you know, I think the common goal is to maintain the illusion that they are an aspirational couple, something to be, you know, desired, and, you know, just... They, you know, they both help each other make sure that the facade is giving what it needs to.
Well, as we see them kind of go through the film, we see more and more steps. You said that she was kind of looking to get her way, not necessarily out, but just for survival. And there are all these things that keep being asked of her that keep being escalated. Where do you think that line is for Elsie, where she's finally like, I'm good?
I don't know if that ever can come. Like, I don't know if she even knows where that line is, to be honest. You know, I think she's in it to win it. You know, like I say that she didn't make the rules, but she's going to play the game, and she's going to win. And she's going to win completely out of left field. You would have never even seen it coming, you know. But she is constantly has her eye on the prize. And, you know, she wants to be a goat in her own right and build her own empire and be her own person independently of her husband's success. She wants more for herself. So I don't know when she would draw the line. Maybe when Yeah, I genuinely don't know.
Well, it's definitely something, food for father,
Yeah.
when something to think about when you're watching the film. She creates such a well-rounded character for something that could easily be, kind of cardboard. You really fleshed her out well, and I appreciate that.
you.
Thank you so much for taking time to talk with me today.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Have
you.
a great rest of your day.
Yes, you too.